this point in time, what we need to understand and realize that all the assertion and assumption made from the side opposition can be counted on very easily from the fact of status quo. When we tell you that, when they come here and tell you that volunteerism and freedom of choice is something that the organized religion gives a person, firstly, that is totally beyond, for that matter, counter to their own idea of organized religion. Because if you see, if they consider the fact that religion is a path of life, then there's a need for them to tell us that why exactly a person needs to have a certain foundations, or for that matter, why there's a need for norms and certain practices which a person has to particularly follow if he goes ahead and chooses this organized form of religion to be in. Secondly, they tell you that it acts as a medium between, the modern and the previous conservative ideas. But I tell you clearly, and also they talk about the social cohesion. It has been very well rebutted by all our three speeches that the organized form of religion does not at any point in time be with the social cohesion, or for that matter be in social coherence, because of the fact that in status quo this organized religion has led to various criminal practices. For example, you can see in case of mob lynching as well. For example, if a Muslim person goes ahead and has beef, the people from Hindu community go ahead and mob lynch that person. Why? If this is a social coherence, we ask you that this social coherence or this form of organized religion is not what we expect as a society as of now. Right? Then they also talk to you about philanthropy, to which we also rebutted on the fact that no, philanthropy is the real cause. Of that matter, if you see on the reality ground, the philanthropy happens because of the fact they want to promote just their own religion. However, in our paradigm, we tell you that since there's no foundation, since there's no kind of organized religion, every individual has his or her autonomy to go ahead and follow the practices of any religion, or for that matter, any one religion he or she feels suitable to himself. Right? So that is one major benefit on our side. Now I'll also tell you what our case has been so far and how we have been able to prove our burden well. Because of the fact our burden was to prove that how exactly the standardization of religion creates a problem, or organization of religion creates a problem, and we gave you three analysis to it. First, the political analysis, when we told you that vote bank politics happens, to which they said no, if for that matter, even if vote bank politics happens, these issues have been highlighted. But we ask you that what exactly is the benefit of the issues being highlighted when the issues are not being solved at first, right? So that is the idea, that in status quo this has failed, rather led to more divisive politics and communalism within these societies. Then we told you that there's an accumulation of power and hegemony that this politicization leads to, and which is why certain heads take over the particular organized religion, and that freedom of choice which they talk about fails at this point in time, and we have highlighted it so far so well, right? Next we tell you about the psychological factor, and we tell you that a person gets ostracized and has the social backlash, and for that matter he faces a sense of fear because of the fact that if he goes ahead and follows any certain practice beyond the norms which his organized religion follows, then the community, or for that matter the other members of his community, go ahead and boycott the person, or for that matter do not include that person into the activities which they do, right? So this is one major thing why a person never dares to go beyond his religion. And we gave you also the example of intercaste marriages, or for that matter interreligious marriages. Then we talk about the rigid structure, which is a major harm on their side, because such organized religions do not allow a person to modify this structure, or for that matter even this counters their very idea of social coherence, because there have been practices wherein if a person goes ahead and marries to a member of another community, they call it love jihad. What kind of social coherence is this? We do not want such kind of social coherence. And lastly, talking about the benefits which we have highlighted and which they fail to on their part of side, is that firstly we tell you in order to promote humanity, which both sides of the house concede to, there's no need for boundaries to be built between the peoples, or for that matter the community. Secondly, we tell you that in our side of the house, there's less political exploitation of people on the ground of religion. Why? Because every individual has the autonomy to go ahead and practice any form of practice they want, and they get the equal protection of law, right? And thirdly, that in our side of the house, there's no need of mediators, right? So thus, with this, we believe that our case has been a winning case over theirs. Thank you.